Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Which match in the General Hospital preview for October 14th to 18th has the potential to save Lulu's life? See the teaser video and get the inside scoop by reading on. Martin confronts Anna at the PCPD station while Sunny and Dante watch, asking why he wasn't informed about her new evidence in the Kate's murder investigation. Given that the gun needed to clear Alexis come found unexpectedly, as Martin reached in time to prevent Dante from committing the greatest error of his career and urge his father not to confess to Kate's murder? "You told me to leave Heather Weber's case alone, and I didn't," admits Portia to Curtis. There is obviously more to the story, and her spouse doesn't appear to be happy about it. Brad found that Portia had tampered with the results of Heather's cobalt test, which was performed at General Hospital after Liz urged him to investigate the strangities surrounding the test last week. Oh my goodness, what will Brad do with this knowledge? Liz, with Terry by her side, gasps, "It's unbelievable," as she glances at the computer. "We've located Lulu a match." Regretfully, the doctor's announcement that Lulu is crashing comes just as her body seems to be giving up, as Dante stands in her room's doorway. Since Alexa Havens has been chosen to take Lulu's place, we already know that this isn't the end for her. When the Quartermaine mansion door finally opens, Sasha says, "What are you doing here?" At this late hour, who could be showing up at the Q's door? Is Sasha the one who can save Lulu? Or is it another person or something else? Don't inform that Gladys is returning. Carly and Lucas talked about Lulu's condition at the hospital. Lucas informed Carly that although Ethan wasn't a donor match, Holly had gotten in touch with him for testing. They soon ran into Ava, who thought Lucas was in town for a vacation and was shocked to see him. Lucas is the new trauma surgeon at General Hospital, Carly informed Ava. When Ava mentioned Julian, Carly yelled back that it was interesting that she would bring him up. Carly brought up the fact that Lulu was battling for her life because of Julian. Lucas requested to talk to Ava by himself. Lucas was curious as to why Ava had exposed Blaze. Ava claimed that she had not intended to, but rather had wished to criticize Natalia for her homophobia. It didn't help Ava in her custody dispute with Sunny, despite her expectation that it would. Ava reminded Lucas so much of Julian. Lucas was told by Ava that Julian adored him. Lucas stated his father was his deadliest enemy, even though he acknowledged that not all of his recollections of Julian were negative. Since no one had mentioned Julian in a positive light in a while, Ava requested Lucas to reminisce. As Lucas began to reminisce about Julian's marriage to Alexis, Ava broke off to voice her disapproval of the Julexis connection. Admire B&B, Days, General Hospital, or other soap operas? Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right now, click this link. Julian was informed by Ava that no one should be evaluated based just on their worst transgression. She expressed her desire for them to be nearer. Lucas consented to consider it. Ava hoped Lucas wasn't wealthy enough to discard his father's side of the family. Lucas promised that neither Avery nor her mother would be thrown away. Martin claimed to Alexis that he left the picture with a helper, but the PI conducted additional research. He clarified that he had verification of Brennan's room service order, which came with a bottle of champagne for two. Martin was certain that she would be freed before the end of the day, despite Alexis's lackluster belief. When Anna got to Robert's office, she dropped a file on his desk. She informed him that she had evidence proving Alexis wasn't guilty. Anna also mentioned the rifle that was left inside a parcel to Robert. She promised to bring Elizabeth and Rick in to positively identify it. Furthermore, the rifle was registered to Sunny and the lab had verified that it had traces from the same river. Robert and Anna both felt that Sunny was the murderer and that Alexis was most likely not Jagger's killer. If Sunny killed Kate's, according to Anna, the FBI would have to construct a case without the gun because they would never recover the weapon. Robert mentioned Sunny's desire to speak with Anna. Christina had knowledge, according to Anna, but Michael prevented her from disclosing it. It was verified by Anna that she would hold off on disclosing the ballistic details until after Sunny had admitted. Anna pointed out that Sunny's alibi was Carly. For Sunny's sake, Anna reasoned that Carly wouldn't want to lose and might want to retract her statement. Elizabeth informed Portia that the lab was particularly busy since individuals were being checked to see if they were a match for Lulu. She asked Portia if she would approve the lab techs working overtime, and Portia said yes. Portia asked Elizabeth whether she was having any problems with Brad. Brad's demeanor and work quality, according to Elizabeth, had been impeccable. Portia was concerned that Brad's job may endanger the hospital. Elizabeth stated that while she wouldn't support Brad personally, his job was commendable. Dex and Dante had a conversation about Lulu at the police station. Dante promised to spend some time with Rocco and Lulu by taking a break. Dex told about a parcel that was delivered, which was initially believed to be a bomb but was actually a pistol. According to Dex, the hypothesis is that Alexis threw the same gun from the bridge. Michael was seated on the couch when Christina went to Sunny's. Sunny claimed he wasn't upset even though he knew she visited Anna. Sunny declared he was going to confess because he was not going to let Alexis to pay for his misdeeds. Christina was not happy. Sunny told her it was the appropriate thing to do, despite her attempts to talk her dad out of admitting. Sunny declared, "I want no one else to bear the cost of Jagger Cates's demise." While Cody was getting his liver examined at the hospital to determine if he may be a donor for Lulu, he ran into Elizabeth. A lot more people, according to Cody, were showing up to take tests. He was taken aback to see Brad when he arrived at the lab. Brad assured Cody that he would not screw up the job and that he truly wanted it. Cody said he would be glad to be back with Britt. Brad acknowledged using her name to gain entry. Cody revealed to Brad that he was Mac's son following his test. Brad heard Cody explain how much he had messed up, but Mac was the greatest man he had ever met, and Mac had forgiven him. Lucas was the best man Brad had ever met, so perhaps he would also be willing to forgive Brad. The idea excited Brad, and he embraced Cody. At that moment, Brad was reprimanded by Portia for his lack of professionalism. She brought up Brad's probationary period. Brad promised that he wouldn't cause any issues. After Michael drove Christina to her therapy session, she requested that he leave for work. Christina texted Dante as soon as Michael departed. She informed him that they had to speak right away since she was at the hospital. In response, Dante responded that he was en route to the hospital. Dex stopped Dante as he was getting ready to depart. Anna didn't want anyone to know about the pistol, according to Dex. Christina informed Dante at the hospital that Sunny will be meeting with the FBI at noon to make his confession to killing Cates. Dante wanted to know if Christina killed Cates or saw who did it. On today's episode of General Hospital, Portia comes clean to Curtis, Brad takes advantage of the situation, Anna confronts Dante, and fresh information completely turns Alexis's life around. Just as Sunny is about to confess at the police station, Dante stops him. Dante disagrees with Anna's statement that it can wait. Martin barges in and demands to know why Anna hasn't disclosed the fresh information related to Alexis's case. After a valiant effort at deflection, Anna finally concedes that they were given a gun identical to the one Alexis threw into the river. Still, additional testing is required. Regarding the ballistics report, Martin inquires. She affirms that the gun used to kill Cates does not fit the ballistics. Dex assists Molly in retrieving the paperwork she dropped in the courthouse. He mentions the fresh evidence in Alexis's case, but she is unaware of it. By telling her, he doesn't want to put his work at danger. She knows, but she's at a loss as to what it might be. Terry arrives at the lab curious to know if Brad discovered anything new from Heather's test findings. Before turning in his work, he wants to make sure everything is correct. Terry believes that's a smart move because everyone is watching him, particularly Portia, who doesn't want him there. Brad is confident he can make her change her mind. Brady prints Heather's lab report and grins as Terry exits. Portia tells her husband at Curtis's office that she altered Heather's cobalt test results. The hospital is now required by the court to provide all of Heather's test results. It's game over for Heather if they discover that her tests were falsified on the day she visited the lab, a place she doesn't often visit. Curtis says there's no reason to think she's tampering or anything. A flawed test or a mistake in the lab could be the cause of the error. she should merely carry on with her usual activities as long as they are the only ones who are aware. Ava knows, Portia informs him. He nearly loses it, but she knows that Ava would never harm Trina by reporting her. He reassures her that she should not worry and that he has her back. But when she goes for work, Curtis' optimism gives way to worry. Elizabeth becomes frightened upon being called to the PCPD with Rick. When Chase sees them, he hands them the gun they won. Rick can't be positive, but Liz believes it appears to be the one Alexis was clutching. Elizabeth scowls and nudges him to acknowledge that it appears to be the gun Alexis was carrying. Then, Curtis calls Rick to discuss an urgent family issue. Diane shows up at the PCPD just as Anna is restating the necessity for additional gun investigation. Martin departs to submit a request to the judge in Alexis' case, and Sonny declines to make the statement he was ready to make. Molly receives a message when Dex asks her at the courthouse whether she feels better than when he saw her at the pub. She claims it's about the fresh evidence Dex was mentioning, looking hopeful. In the meantime, a security pulls Christina from Alexis's visitation at the jail in order to bring her to court. Christina believes Sonny has admitted. Later, wondering what's going on, Christina, Michael, and Sam cross paths in the courthouse corridor. As they walk inside the courtroom, Molly and Christina exchange a cold gaze. Returning to the hallway, Sonny informs Diane that he did not send the gun and does not know who did. Alexis is brought into court by a bailiff. Elizabeth is discovered by Terry in the hospital locker room. Terry questions whether Elizabeth's outburst regarding Rick is truly related to Lucky. Given that Lucky can no longer save Lulu, Elizabeth fears about Aiden, fearing that he will abandon her once more. Brad walks up to Portia at the hospital hub with a smug smile. He informs her that Heather's cobalt levels have drastically changed when she brings him to her office. She adds gently, trying not to show her nervousness, that her legal team, not him, should be concerned. He continues by saying that he found out the same day she used the lab computer. Dr. Robinson, should I worry about that? She questions why he is bringing this up to her, saying that testing failures occur frequently. Brad responds in a low voice that he simply wanted her to know how hard he's working and that he was able to identify such a stark difference. He therefore thinks that because he's back on a trial basis, she will have positive things to say if she is ever questioned about his job. Brad wonders if using his discretion or completing his due diligence by submitting his findings to the higher-ups would earn him a better review from Portia. Portia, speaking in a stilted manner, compliments him on his job and advises him to comply with all requests made by the police and legal teams. However, he shouldn't make things more difficult by sharing his thoughts about the outcome. In exchange, she will advise Terry to hire him on a full-time basis as soon as his trial term ends, if not before. Reminding her that he has the digital record, he hands over the copy of the test results and walks away. After he leaves, she slams the door and angrily tears up the report. Brady, clutching a report, smiles while Portia casts a worried glance off in the distance. Father to father, Curtis confronts Rick in his office about his support of Heather. Although Rick acknowledges his worries, he doesn't think Curtis' family should be afraid of her. Curtis disagrees and wants to know the next step in the process. Rick informs him that he has hard proof that metallosis was the cause of Heather's mental condition. Heather will get her court date, and she may be released right away. Alexis believes Dante was going to notify Sonny about the pistol before his father could confess while they are alone in the interrogation room. He confesses the idea occurred to him since he respects her too much to lie. She questions what has changed so much that he would go too far for Sonny this time. On top of everything with Lulu, Dante regrets having to inform Rocco that his grandfather is going to prison. Whatever occurs, Anna replies, Rocco will have Dante to support him, and that's what counts. She is aware of Dante's continued love for Lulu. For her life, Dante would give up his own. Martin requests that the accusations against Alexis be dropped in court once he provides a report on the found firearm. The prosecution makes an objection to it. Due to insufficient evidence, the judge dismisses Alexis's charges after giving the matter some thought outside of court. Again, Molly and Christina exchange cold glares while everyone cheers. Alexis informs Sonny that she is aware of his intentions for her. Sonny's commitment to the people he loves will never waver. Michael wonders where Molly is heading as he follows her to the hallway. Molly still holds Christina responsible for starting this whole thing, therefore she is unable to be around her. At the hub, Brad delivers Elizabeth Heather's test results. Elizabeth receives a computer alert after he leaves saying that they have identified Lulu's match. Lucas was standing outside Bobby's when he noticed the sign that Elizabeth had painted before the year was up. He entered first, and then Willow and Wiley. Wiley inquired as to Lucas' identity after Willow and Lucas had exchanged pleasantries. Willow explained to him that Lucas was his great-uncle because he was Grandma Carly's brother. Wiley was ecstatic to have met him. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.